The old paradigm is now being outdated and dismantled as we have ushered in the Corona era. Corona as in crown, as in gold, as in crown chakra, or your Christos consciousness awakening. That's the era that we've entered. And since we've entered this new era during this new year, I thought it was only fitting to bring someone that I am so overjoyed to have met. Listen, I was just on my spiritual journey, just minding my business, when Chief Rod Hayes, also known as Chief Pontiac, said, "Hey, I know a gentleman who would serve you well, who I need for you to meet, and you can come on his show sometime because he talks about the divine matriarchy." So all praises and shout out to Chief Rod Hayes, who's one of the chiefs of the Soul Tribe. He said, "You need to meet this gentleman." And I'm so ecstatic that I had the opportunity to meet him, because meeting him has taught me about stones and metals and alchemy, these things that the ancestors have left for us to heal us and raise our vibrations. As a matter of fact, look at the beautiful jewelry that he made just for Dr. Kia Pruitt. Amazing. We'll talk about it later. It has a deity or a goddess on the front, made of pure 24 karat gold and copper, 99.999%. Can you see that? And it has citrine and turquoise and other precious metals and stones on it. When I wear this, you'd be surprised how many people just stand at attention, serve me with a smile. Today I was in the mall with my grandchildren. They gave me extra perfumes, extra gifts, and said, "Wow, we recognize the goddess." See, when you adorn yourself with the precious stones and jewels that your ancestors left for you, the world will recognize who you are, pay attention, and serve you as they should. So let me tell you a little bit about this business, okay? The business is called Orishastone. We're going to let him tell you what that business is about, the gentleman. Orishastone LLC represents art, knowledge, and symbolism. The symbolism is to help people remember who they are and provide them with the knowledge that they need to understand and to understand their purpose, not just knowledge, but their purpose. Orishastone art has a motto: wear your intentions, and their designs are crafted in style. Orishastone promotes and sells minerals, artifacts, and tangible investments. But before we go into these tangible investments, artifacts, minerals, stones, let me tell you a little bit about the gentleman that I've come to know and adore. Can't wait to meet his lovely wife, because by his side, honey, they are a power couple. His name is Brother Nabi. Brother Nabi, a mineral alchemist, was born on a small island in the Philippines. His mom, an indigenous American military veteran, originally from Orlando, Florida, had joined and served her great country since 18 years old. Hailing from Mississippi, but now residing in Florida, Brother Nabi learned a lot from his mom, the military veteran. She had studied and collected ancient artifacts and gold pieces, stones, and foreign currencies from her global travels while in the military. Originally on track to join the military himself, Brother Nabi changed the course of his career and his life by deciding instead to become a chef. When his mom, who was an important figure in his life, transitioned, she bequeathed him precious stones and antiquities such as artifacts and other precious gems. Left in the shrouds of his mother's transition, after discovering that the government has stolen his wealth, everything, all of his inheritance that his mom had left for him, Brother Nabi embarked on a spiritual journey, an amazing spiritual journey, which led him to meet several spiritual women. Aha, here comes the matriarch. He met spiritual women and oracles who had given him readings, spiritual readings that helped him to uncover spiritual truths about himself that were deeply embedded in his soul that his mom and his Panamanian grandpa had left in his soul. These spiritual women inspired him to learn more and more and more. And eventually, they led him all this knowledge to speak himself on the significance of the matriarch. Well, while on his spiritual journey, Brother Nabi started selling his jewelry as a street vendor. That's where he met Chief Rod Hayes, who then inspired him to take his street business to social media. And that was before social media was going viral. That eventually led him to being discovered by the owner of a company called the Bronze Kingdom, a company that was about to actually close shop. But Brother Nabi, excited about an opportunity to help revamp the image of this fledgling business, which had tremendous potential, negotiated with the business owners. And he became the art curator and researcher for that business. Happy to now be using his amazing talents with the Bronze Kingdom, the largest African bronze museum in Northern America. Using his amazing talents, Brother Nabi asked only for artifacts as payment instead of fiat dollars. Simultaneously, he did community work where he mentored adults and youth alike, teaching them mineral alchemy. And he taught them the importance of ancient artifacts, precious metals, stones, and antiquities. Over time, Brother Nabi's influence and knowledge grew by leaps and bounds, and eventually his love for such precious gems and all that he had learned from his mom led him into a mineral store in Orlando, Florida, where he met his lovely wife. Look at destiny. In love and moving in purpose, he and his wife decided to relocate from Orlando to Tallahassee, Florida, where she and her family had land rights, family, and culture. With his wife by his side, Brother Nabi took his knowledge, his wisdom, his culture, his inspiration from his mom and his bloodline, and combined it with his wife's gifts and all that she and her bloodline had accumulated and expanded their business, which is now known as Orishastone. Today, Brother Nabi and his wife and children now live in Tallahassee, Florida, building their legacy for their family and their posterity while teaching humanity the importance and metaphysical properties of precious metals, stones, and antiquities. Family, help me welcome to the show today my personal jeweler and my new friend, whom I met through Chief Rod Pontiac Hayes, none other than the amazing CEO and owner of Orishastone, Brother Nabi. Welcome to the show, Brother Nabi.
Appreciate you guys. That was so beautiful. You made that sound really, really beautiful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Before we get started, can I say a couple words since this is the New Year? Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Ken 113 Day. So big shout out to Melanated Immortals, OJ Yemi, and Goddess Mayat. The words for today is: I pulse in order to explore, realizing wakefulness. I feel the output of space with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of universal water. I am a galactic activation portal into me. I say. Okay, so the new year, all right, guys.
I say. Oh.
Thank you for having me. It's always an honor. It's always an honor to be on with you. You're always spreading knowledge and like we said last time, you're a world bridger, a universal world bridger. So
thank you.
It's most definitely an honor.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for allowing me to come on your show not long ago. It was totally, I was caught off guard. I had no idea that I would be on such an amazing show with other beautiful, lovely matriarchs. So I thank you very much. And I'm grateful that you and Chief Rod Hayes are a part of our soul family. So thank you so much, Brother Nabi.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Where do we start? I'm just so ecstatic about the jewelry that you gifted me. I mean, I wear it and with pride and honor. It resonates with people. They ask questions about it when they see it. So, I mean, I guess we could talk about this, but you tell me where we should start.
Well, no, as far as your piece, like you said, I always say, wear your intentions. I've been
Okay.
writing this book about, at least about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and you always bring that matriarch energy. When we say
Wow.
matriarch, we're talking about real goddesses. I'm not. We don't even say the queen word no more. We're getting into higher knowledge of self, especially with melanated immortals and things of that nature. Learning your kin number, learning who you are, because once you realize who you are, everybody, you know what I'm saying, plays their part in their position in life.
I
Um,
see.
what you bring is positivity. What you bring is all these different things. When you speak about wealth. Now on the back of that, that's a gold plated copper piece of Nefertaria, right? And I
Yes.
do a lot of research on her, but at the end of the day, she represents matriarch power.
Mm.
So it's in the 360, it's in the 90-degree angles, which will be a pyramid. It's also wire wrapped in copper, like I said, and the copper eats up bacteria, viruses, and it's a conductor of energy. Your
Okay.
energy being magnified through this piece.
Wow.
Stones on this piece. One of the stones that I really wanted, because you're always talking about foreign currencies. So I put
Yes.
citrine on there. Citrine is abundance. It means prosperity. It's for your solar plex chakra and um, solar plex chakra and sacral chakra.
Hmm.
Turquoise, on the other hand, you have Egyptian turquoise. I'm sorry, you have Persian turquoise on there.
Persian. Yes.
Yeah, the Persian turquoise is actually a library within itself. It's a lot of history within there, but turquoise within itself brings prosperity. One who wears turquoise never has to work for anybody. You'll always have abundance. You'll always be protected, especially if you travel. You're protected by the ancestors. One who wears turquoise, the ancestors see them and they know where they say that's somebody who knows where they're coming from and where they're going. Grant them away. So the reason that has Persian turquoise is because pyrite is in Persian turquoise. Really fine AAA pyrite. So with that being said, pyrite, turquoise, and citrine work together in that pyramid scheme. The 90-degree angles on it is going to work and magnify the energy you already have. So you're wearing your intentions. Literally, you're wearing your intentions.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. This is beautiful. And this is just an example of some of the work that you do. So let me start from the beginning first. As I was reading your bio, and you and I have spoken at length, I saw that your mom actually collected artifacts, jewels, and gems. So it looks like it's almost like you're coming full circle. What did you think as your mom was collecting these things? Did you know how valuable they were at the time as you were growing up?
You know, it's crazy. No child really understands when you're from a different place or whatever, right? I'm pretty sure your grandkids don't know how great they have it yet, but one day they will.
Yes.
So some things I just thought was just second nature. I'm not sure if you see that.
Yes, I can see it well. That's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom. Some things I just thought was second nature. Some things she's in the military, so she used to travel around, see all sorts of different things, and she would always bring things home. So she used to go to Vancouver, Washington,
Okay.
over on the West Coast, and she would collect stones and send me videos of different stones, and she always break it down to the importance of different stones. Of course, I didn't understand it then. I just thought it was cool what she was getting. I would just like support her business or whatever. She actually sold jewelry to a brother off the show, Living Single.
Yes.
Cliff or something like that. She sold him that jewelry one time.
Wow. What, the dark skinned brother?
Yeah, the dark skin with the locks. If you ever pay attention to him in his interviews, he always got some amazing beads on. So my mom was always in the beads. She's originally she's from Philadelphia, so she got transferred to Florida. I'm from Florida, and I got transferred to Mississippi. So
he was a very sharp brother. I'm trying to find family in the chat. Let me know who was the star of Living Single. The dark skinned brother, always sharp. He was dating Maxine. He was so he would wear your mom's jewelry.
My mom, her company is called Chocolate Diamond. If you look up Chocolate Diamond with 2 C's.
Wow.
So yeah, she's done a lot.
They're saying, wow. You guys remember who that was? Oh man, I cannot think of his name. It'll come to me. I'll see if I can find him. Let's see. Oh, Terrence Carson. But I can't. Terrence Carson is his name. It's his, but that wasn't his name on the show. Wow. Let me show you just how sharp this gentleman was. This is Kyle. Kyle was his name on Kyle. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Kyle, thank you, family. Let me show you how sharp he was. This is awesome. He was wearing your mom's jewelry, your legacy, your family legacy. So this is this brother, just sharp. Wow, just sharp. Always dressed nicely, nice glasses, nice jewelry. Very poised gentleman. Terrence T.C. Carson, that was his name. Wow. So you're growing up living with your mom who has jewelry, stems, precious stones, all these things around. It's just like a part of your culture. It's a part of your, I don't know, your lifestyle. When you're on this journey and you're watching your mom do these things, have you ever thought, I'm going to do a business? You know, did that ever come to you, or did that happen later?
It came happen way later. Like you said, I was supposed to go to the military. I was training to go to the military. I just was a little, you know what I'm saying, a little off from that journey. But in the process of going to the military, or wanting to go to the military and not going that route, I learned a bunch of other things. But it's kind of like the prodigal son, I guess you could say, out of the Bible. When you go around the whole world and you start realizing everything you were looking for was already home.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of things that we're looking for, a lot of the knowledge, wisdom, sometimes, and that's a lesson I learned, that sometimes the knowledge you're looking for is right at home, and we just didn't listen. We didn't take heed. So I'm an example of that. If I would listen to my mom, I'd be a whole lot further in life. But the knowledge, that the memories and things that she did teach me still took me a good distance in life as well. So.
And so as I was reading your story, I came to understand that mom transitioned, and when she transitioned, she had bequeathed you or left you some things, but it was stolen from you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. My mom, she was in the military since she was 18, so she was a real smart woman. She was a real estate agent. You want to tell you about? So when she in the military in 1984, they were injecting a lot of black women with different chemicals, whatever, almost like the ski experiments. They were doing things like that to make them not fertile. So that's kind of a spiritual part about being born or whatever, because a lot of other people were miscarriaging, they were losing their babies or whatever because they were doing something so black women in the military couldn't conceive. So, but long story short, she acquired a lot of real estate. She ended up suing the military, which those were the initial people that killed her, but her own family helped do it. You know what I'm saying? Because she actually won a lawsuit against the military after all those years. And she kind of exposed a lot of different things that happen in the military, all branches. And that's another reason I guess I didn't go, because my grandfather, before he passed, he told me the military wasn't for no black man. So it was kind of one of them catch-22s. I wanted to go because all my family was in it, but it just didn't work out for me. But the thing about it is, when she was dying, she trusted her Muslim side of her family. And the Muslim side, they didn't believe in healing. They didn't believe in health and everything else. So they sped up the process of her dying. And in the process of it, they pretty much had her do a new will and all that type of stuff, whatever. And they pretty much just, took everything. And like I say, that was part of the journey. When you get put out and have to figure it all out, now it's part of the journey to get it all back. So yeah, that's, what I'm saying? She got betrayed by her own so-called family.
And so where did that leave you now? I mean, because you were born into wealth, but didn't get to enjoy it. Where did that leave you now as a gentleman, as a man, finding your way on your own personal journey?
Oh man, one thing about it, my mama ain't taught me nothing else. Money come and go. Money come and go. So I'm even what they took, it might have been something, but it would have made me comfortable. Looking back on it now, if I would have still been there, I would have been real comfortable sitting there, not doing what my purpose was. So the purpose was the journey, the journey, and everything you acquire from it, the wisdom, the artifacts, the antiquities, and everything they thought they had has already been spent. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, I lost some, but I gained a lot more from it. So, one thing I learned, the so-called monetary things, that's not as important as we put on.
Speaking of monetary things, that's not as important as we say it is. When you were working for that bronze company, I think it was the bronze company, You asked for artifacts instead of money. That blew my mind. Most people would think you needed money, but what made you ask for artifacts instead?
Well, it goes back to my. I guess we're gonna do the whole mom thing. It goes back to my mom. I was always an entrepreneur. Like I said, we don't realize what we have until it's gone. But when I was young, she'd always have me doing something with selling candy, or you never rely on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you need money, go get the money. So when I came in, I was already a businessman when I came to the Bronze Kingdom, and he was already in a default. So his situation was already kind of on the decline. He owed a lot of people money. You can't win like that. That's what's wrong with us now. We always want to, I want your money. I want your money. I don't want your money. What do we want to buy with the money? So I was real big on networking, barter and trade system. And at that point in time, I think I just realized my mom was born in 1964. So my mom was a wood dragon, and I started seeing all these visions and stuff of the dragon. So in my opinion, in my personal, she was guiding me through my visions and dreams with elephants and dragons. And he had the dragon. The last live he did, he had this dragon that I really wanted. It was like 7,500. So I ended up telling him, man, I'll work it off. You know what I'm saying? It was almost biblical, because I told him, listen, I'll work it off. Let me run your company. You don't have to close it down. I'll run it. You don't have to pay me. I'll pay myself. Let me run the gift shop. So I was running the gift shop, but I was also allowing people to come and do events. I was a tag teamer with Mercury Collective. We were doing a lot of events for kids, community events. We were also doing a program called, damn, man, we did a lot of programs, man. One of them was just about growing your own food and just having things that you needed in the community. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name now, but we've done so much different work. But it was a lot of amazing people. In Orlando, is a lot of amazing people. The whole Mercury Collective, it was a lot of people that were coming together. Goddess Osunbumi, Iamin in Tampa, all those people were coming, and we were throwing events. They were throwing band-bays there. We were throwing poetry events. We were throwing chess tournaments for the kids. We were doing all sorts of different things to get people back into the culture, one, and have fun. And it was just bridging the gap. So
wow. That's amazing. And so you left from there to start your own business? We
always had our own business, but eventually the Bronze Kingdom ended up shutting down. The business aspect of it wasn't all the way there, so we ended up shutting down on the businesses. Orlando's kind of expensive, and so we were just, you know what I'm saying. Beaky, she's already from up here. Like she just came down there just to get from. Everybody wants to leave home, and then realize home was where it's at. So
who is this?
Beaky, my wife.
Oh, your wife. Okay.
Yeah, she's from Turkey Scratch. So it's right outside of Tallahassee, but she's from Turkey Scratch. So we just moved back up there. One, I was ready for peace. And when you go to the countries, everybody want to be indigenous, but you want to go out in nature. When you're out in the country, you can just sit out there with the trees and till the garden and things of that nature, and just be out there with the birds, the hawks, the whatever. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was paradise. It was like a place to relax and everything else. And then all I do is, like you said, just bring my input and different things I can do for the community.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that who you are led you to your wife. You met her in a mineral store. That's a life lesson for the soul tribe. Sometimes we're like, where is my partner? Where is my companion? Where's the person that I want to enter into covenant with? If you live your life on purpose and you're just living, the right person for you will be attracted to you, typically in your natural habitat. So he's all about minerals and alchemy and artifacts, and that's where he met his wife. You want to expound on that at all?
Well, we talk about minerals. Let's talk about magnetism.
Okay.
Magnetism. So, like you said, when you're wearing your intention, you live in your purpose. I was just trying to be honest with you, I wasn't on the healing aspect of it at that point in time. My mom passed, and when she passed, she left me a bunch of stones. So it was kind of my responsibility that I was just going to let it sit there. I was going to let somebody calm me out of it, or I was going to study and figure it out what it was. And we didn't have a lot of people we would study from back then. I didn't want to listen to a lot of people. So I would go to the mineral stores in my area or wherever, especially when I came back to Florida. I would go to different places and try to find things that I'd never seen before. A lot of places like mineral stores, crystal shops, botanicas. I really was like in love with botanicas. And I think I met her at I actually met her at a healing place, herbal crystal store. And again, like I say, that goes back into magnetism of purpose, because I was actually studying a stone called shungite. And the reason being, shungite fights cancer. So right after my mom passed, I was really serious about learning all these different things that we didn't have access to. in Mississippi that now it's abundant right here in Florida. And we don't, like I say, nobody appreciate what they have. But when I found out it was down here, I started like, yo, I want to invest in shungite. I want to invest in soursop. I want to invest in all these different things. Like elderberry just grows up just down the streets in Florida. Other places, they have to pay a lot of money for these things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I was studying herbs and different things of that nature. She's most definitely an herbalist. And she's one of the, like, I never really just bought a stone for myself. I had stones. My mama gave me stones, but I never just intentionally bought a stone for myself. So the first person ever bought a stone for me was a beaky. She bought me some citrine, and she told me what recipe to put it on and everything else. And that's when I started connecting the dots about the meanings and the purposes and the intentions of the stones. I didn't know the intentions of them. So it was kind of like a godsend that she met me, and she kind of was like, yeah, you got all this, but do you know what this means? No. So let's learn what it means. And then everything started flowing a lot better when you know you're on your purpose. Now you know what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that was most definitely an amazing experience.
So it's interesting because your mom left you so much. You know, she left you the legacy of being a disciplined person, her having been in the military, and she left you knowledge. Even if she didn't sit down and talk to you about it in depth, which she may have, she left you knowledge about it just by virtue of you being around her, about precious stones, precious jewels, minerals. And we always talk about that. What is the long-lasting impact you want to leave behind? Your mother left a legacy behind that is healing the nations, with an S, healing the world. And so kudos to you in honor of your mom to carry out her legacy. That's just beautiful. Oh God. All praise to the matriarch, to the Most High, to your bloodline, and to you, and to your lovely wife who's working beside you. I don't think people understand or know the importance of working alongside a divine partner.
That part. That's very like that's something that a lot of people want to play over, and the way it's so much toxic. That's why I love your channel. I can't say it enough. That's why I love your channel, because you always speak about family and how important it is for people to play their position and know their purpose and know their. Because a lot of people are lost right now. I'm glad I found mine, because I know I've been through a lot of bad relationships. So that one was amazing. But the amazing part is finding somebody that's into what you're into. That is aligned to what she was into. Healing. I needed healing. I wanted to study healing. I had stones. She knew about it. It was everything that was the yin yang. It fit together. It really fit together. So that's more than just a saying. That's something we really need to pay attention to. People say opposite attract. I don't think so. I think you need to find somebody that's into the same thing and supports. Because I've been in relationships with women would like literally try to compete with me. You in this, we got to pay the same bills. We got to take care of each other, but you want to compete with me in the same house. It makes no sense. So yeah, it's very important to have somebody in your life that wants to see you win, wants to see you successful. Anything that in any of my shortcomings, she comes in and fills in the gaps. Wow. So vice versa. So yeah, no, that's very important. The matriarch is balanced for me. It's not just one side of things. Really, Mayat energy.
What I find interesting about your story, and I'm going to move on from this, but this is beautiful. How you met your wife. It doesn't sound like you waited till you were 100% healed. You waited till you were rich and you were living on a hill. And she came at the perfect time of your life, and you came at the perfect time of her life. I can't express enough how important it is to be in alignment. What do you have to say about that?
Without her, I'm a completely different person. I'll tell you that now. Also, like in my readings, a lot of different things is like you got to hear and you obey. When you get certain stones, you get impulses. Sometimes they talk to you. I know that sounds crazy, but I was really into motorbite. Motorbite is I would say a matriarch stone or a mother stone, even though it came out of the crown of the bliss, right? But I was communicating with my mom through the motorbite. So what I needed, she kind of sent to me. And that's one of the things I guess we can get into about the stones.
Okay.
She sent what I needed, and she sent what I needed. Yeah, I mean that's the best I can get into without sounding too crazy. But once you set your intention, and then you state your intentions, especially when you're holding your stones and things like that, you can manifest. As far as her, like I said, I'm a completely different person. I probably wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for her. So what she did, she polished it up, she did everything else. And that's the important part. Like, we need each other. Right now, there's a big propaganda, psyop, whatever you want to call it, of trying to pit black men against black women and black women against black men. And That's the trick, you know what I'm saying? Because they know when we come together, that was the whole Asar and a set thing. They explain it that it's way older than my mama. This is since the beginning of time, you know what I'm saying? They gave us a prototype and we're not following the script. So yeah, most definitely that's the purpose. That's the reason I'm here right now. I couldn't have done it without her at all. And all of us, we would reach our highest potential if we realize that we need both sides, the divine masculine and feminine.
Wow, the Soul family is saying that's a very beautiful story. They appreciate you mentioning that. I think that's beautiful. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. You're right. I do. I know that family is important. When you think about the 24 laws of the universe that guide or 24 universal principles, some people say there are more. One of them is that the divine feminine and divine masculine must work together synergistically to balance each other. So this is what we need. We need both the divine masculine and divine feminine.